I'm so sorry I'm late. Happy Valentine's. This is for you.
This is weird. Honestly, of all the people I wish I'd be spending Valentine's Day with, you would not be top of the list.
Finally, after 6 years.
It's a better be special. My partner at home is livid.
You've already ordered the food?
Ordered the food. I feel like me and you have got a similar taste. Maybe not whiskey-wise, but food-wise. Both love a, steak pie, whatever. So I've picked 3 options I think will be great for
I am
both of us.
late, but I spoke to their European brand ambassador is actually in-house.
Okay.
And so I thought, we'll have our meal with pairing whiskies. Have you ever done that before?
I have. I wasn't convinced,
Well,
to be honest.
Malt Whisky Society are going to change your mind. Okay. So, are the food a bit ready? How long ago did you order?
Maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
I've got a nice kind of selection, so I think, whatever drams you pick, I'm skeptical. I feel like the whiskey's just going to dominate. But,
let's see.
This is your old haunt. You know your whiskey, you know your food.
Thanks very much.
So, I'm
nice one.
as open-minded as I'll ever be.
I got this flower from Queen Street Gardens. Technically, you're not allowed to pick flowers from there, but we're on Queen Street, so I thought I would take it.
Don't know what you're aiming for, Ross. But I love it. A lovely flower.
Oh, here we go. Francesco, how are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Fantastic.
Good evening.
This looks so stunning.
We got your smoked and cured salmon with some pickled fennel and some charred cucumber. We got a whiskey from distillery number 4, so we're up in the Orkney. It's not Scapa, it's the other one. It's 12 years old, and I love this dram. It works really well with salmon because I think it has a nice green apple hint coming through, and then just a touch of smoke in the end.
So it's kind of a coastal dish.
Yeah,
and a
it's
coastal
under
dram.
the oily coastal flavor profile. 12 years old, full maturation in bourbon. You get a nice sweetness coming from the bourbon.
And the strength?
Just be careful, it's 63.1%.
Excellent.
So it's definitely a good swimmer at some water.
I love it.
A good
Thank you,
swimmer. I love
Francesco.
that. I'm going to steal that phrase. I love that. Good swimmer. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now you're talking. You've done well with the food. I'm telling you, we've done well with the whiskey. So let's have a little.
big dram. 63% is absolutely ridiculous. Like, how does this...
You already asked what my intentions, Laurie.
Whiskey and food. How do you do this?
I'll definitely try the whiskey first. Okay. Obviously, with food and wine, a very natural pairing.
I'm sold on that.
To me, this is like starting with a white wine, with a crisp white wine.
Great smelling dram.
So we've got seafood, fresh seafood, Scottish salmon's going to be amazing. Now, obviously, this is slightly peated as well. And this one is called the Seaside Sherbet, which sounds great. So let's have a little smell and taste. And so, for people that aren't familiar with the society, they get to come into our date here and say, this is distillery number 4. It's the 4th distillery in so it's a Highland Park.
Okay.
But oily and coastal is the important thing.
Yeah.
I feel quite romantic already.
So my thing is that whiskey, it's so strong.
Evocative.
It's strong.
Emotional.
It's bloody strong. Particularly at 63%, it's very strong. And I think that's what puts a lot of people off whiskey in the first place, let alone pairing it with food. Is that it just dominates, it burns, it's an intense experience.
Have a taste, see what you think. And then have some seafood afterwards.
It's a good dram. It's a lovely dram, actually.
I think that's excellent. This is super light and fresh. That's a little bit dirty, a little bit, just enough.
What is the sign of when a whiskey and the food, do they bring out, is it greater than the sum of its parts? Is that,
you're going to see the difference when you try the second course with a very different whiskey. But this is light and fresh. This is light and fresh.
The food is lovely. I can eat salmon pretty much for every meal.
And you like the whiskey. So what's your complaint about?
I'm familiar with whiskey and cheese tastings, whiskey and chocolate tastings, done that a lot. And you do a thing where you take the chocolate of a cheese, take a bite, crumble it up, and then you wash it down with a dram. Would you do that in this?
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to whiskey cure the salmon in your mouth, if that's what you're asking. But let's have a go. Let's see what you think, and then once we finish your dish, I'll ask your opinion on it.
I must say, I think having food at the same time, it makes the whiskey go down a lot smoother.
There we go. That's a point for me.
They do work together.
You're loosening up a little bit. This is nice.
That's just because 63%, it's gone straight to my head. Is the plan to match the flavours or contrast the flavours, or can you do both?
I think it depends on different courses. I think we'll see with what we've got. Some of it will match, some of it will contrast, but these ones match. You're very well spoken as well, Laurie. You put that across really nicely.
Thanks.
Really put me at ease tonight.
I'm not, like, I'd love a beer. A nice glass of wine wouldn't go amiss, but the whiskey works.
Nice.
I think it's not, I think the thing I'd take from this first course is that the whiskies, despite being so strong, doesn't dominate and it doesn't confuse my palate. And it's because salmon's quite delicate and quite nuanced and stuff. But I think with this being quite a subtle whiskey, but also not a boring whiskey, there's stuff to take apart here and stuff to take apart there.
Whatever you say.
How was it? How's your evening going?
A very impressive start.
Yeah, it was really good.
Hope I'm changing your mind with the pairings.
As a skeptic, a very good pairing.
Fantastic. With this one, we kind of matched the flavor.
Yeah.
But the next one, probably try to go against it.
Interesting.
See how it goes.
Nice.
Sure, I'm slowly softening to the idea of whiskey and food. So yeah, appreciate your help. Thank you.
Go on, be honest. I think, by the way,
I mean, my dram's nearly gone.
you done very well ordering the food.
Thanks.
I done very well booking this place.
So we're at Scotch Malt Whisky Society, which is, all the whiskies in the world, huge selection. Why are we here for food?
So, I used to work here, first and foremost, but also, it isn't just that old room full of all men drinking cask strength whiskey. This society and the Queen Street venue we're in, where I got my lovely flower from, this is
creeping me out.
This is actually also an amazing restaurant. You're going to see that with the main course. Okay. What did you think of the whiskey pairing? You've said you're not really, I think with a cold course, it works. It's a lot easier to understand.
Yeah, I think salmon is very subtle. So I think it's subtle enough that you can still appreciate the whiskey. My concern with the main is that it's going to be two big flavours and it's just going to be competing. And it's just going to be an overwhelming experience. I'm going to burst into tears.
Also, if you ask me, if you put on paper Highland Park and salmon, I'm going to order that.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's SMWS, so it's more about the flavour lead than the distillery. But the oily and coastal, that was oily and coastal.
Yeah. I did feel it was an obvious match. I think
you don't want to be enthusiastic here.
I'm still missing a pint.
That is one round to me.
There we go. We got your venison with some barley risotto and a venison croquet.
Amazing.
We got distillery 36, so we are in Speyside, 21 years old, fully matured in bourbon. And as I said, with this one, probably gonna try to go against the kind of gamey flavor of the venison. Okay. There's a lovely, polished oak flavors coming through. There's a bit of spiciness as well.
Nice.
It's 21 years old, but still 60% alcohol, and is under the old and dignified flavor profile.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Thank you. Well, I, for one, love the taste of polished oak.
Old and dignified flavor profile.
This is a big dram.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like a dram in this day and age, 21 years old.
Yeah. Would you pair it with something?
It needs your full attention.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And also, as Francesco mentioned, a very impressive strength. This is from a distillery that you would honestly have very little preconceived notions about. Okay. So it really highlights what the Whisky Society is going to do. It's all about the flavour profile. Now, I've not had it before, but Mad Wax Beyond Thunderdram.
Sounds painful.
It's a great name. And it says, polished, waxy, mouth coating perfection. Old style whiskey, really good dishes. It is. I could tell you the distillery, but I will tell you.
What does it rhyme with?
The name of a hill. Let's say Benrinnes.
Benrinnes, from my limited experience, is quite a meaty, quite a big dram.
Yeah. Compared to, so we know so much about Highland Park, there's a lot of unknowns about Benrinnes because you can't visit it. It's not designed, for you to go up and have a world-class experience.
Strength of this,
60.6, it drinks really well. So this is also a slightly older style from the Malt Whisky Society. This just highlights what they can do. You're never really going to get this distillery in this age profile and, in this presentation, natural colour, cask strength, very often. So it's a real treat. It's a special whiskey for a special guy, Laurie.
Thanks.
So this is going to contrast.
Which is a surprise, because Ben Rennes is quite...
Yeah, meaty and waxy, but the whiskey is fantastic.
My big concern always with whiskey is that it just dominates. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm so relieved that the whiskey's kind of subtle and, not delicate, but it's not a big beast that's going to blow your head off.
Oh, see, I think that works really well. I do.
How predictable?
I do, actually. And it's not too spicy, but there is that kind of savoury oakiness that goes really well with the Sierra and the Venison.
I mean, the Venison's amazing.
This is the Whisky Society. It's not just about the whiskey. But I know what you mean. A lot of the time you would think of having a glass of Bordeaux with your Venison.
Kill for that right now.
It's all about supporting Scotland.
It is. Our national drink.
That's a very good dram.
I must say, I'm very glad Francesco picked the drams.
Under my guidance, obviously.
Yeah.
These people know what they're talking about. And this is the thing, you come to the Malt Whisky Society, you can ask, forget about the distillery, ask about the flavour profile, and they'll pick something for you.
How easy is it to pick to match it incorrectly? How bad can it go?
I guess with food it could be a disaster, because especially with hot food, I think as you mentioned earlier, it is a lot easier with chocolate and cheese to pair a whiskey, easier to pair with desserts. The salmon worked perfectly. But there is a thing about hot food, you don't almost want something that's that high in alcohol. But
so we've had two big drams so far, but they've both been perfectly palatable.
I can't believe I'm winning you over this easy.
It's nice. Maybe it's a novelty thing. If I'm ordering a meal, I'd always have either a beer or a wine or something else of a lower strength. It does work. It doesn't set my world alight.
But you're learning. Nobody's perfect.
I don't know. It's a nice whiskey and a nice meal. I don't think they bring out too much in each other.
Tonight and tonight only, I will forgive you.
Would you have paired this with anything else?
Well, I didn't think this was going to be as good as it was, but I think, if you go very samey, if you go really rich and sherried with dark meat, everything's very stodgy almost. It's almost quite drying. Whereas, although this has a savoury note to it, it's still a sweet Speyside style whiskey, and it goes really well because it contrasts the venison. Clean plates again.
I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Here I am. How was the venison?
Amazing.
How was it, bad boy?
This was better than we both thought it was going to be. And I think what you said about the strength as well, with a hot meal, I was a bit kind of apprehensive.
I think it sums up what makes a society great.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have any strong opinions about Ben Rennes, but that was fine.
But on that single cask, it was an exception.
Yeah, because as you said, you don't really come across this whiskey very often on this kind of like profile. And even if 60% alcohol, it's actually quite well balanced, I think.
Absolutely.
There's no punch in the face of alcohol.
I didn't add any water. It's unusual for me.
Yeah, mine's is pretty much gone.
We're ready for dessert.
Yeah,
I'll bring that.
Thank you so much.
Here we go.
That's Yuri.
Since
you're
Valentine's
dessert,
Day, I thought we could share one.
Oh, how cute.
It's the
What's he like? What's he
bit of
like?
romance. I mean, we'll probably end up fighting over it.
And we are finishing off with a whiskey from the Highland.
What colour?
It's 112 years old, into a bourbon cask and then into a virgin French oak.
French virgin oak.
And even just smelling it, you just get a lot of like raisin, white chocolate. It's just beautiful. And I think again here we are trying to match the dish instead of going against it.
Francesco, fantastic.
This is what you'd say. This is a decadent dram, chocolatey.
Yeah, it's like just like so many like chocolate coated raisin on the nose, just beautiful. 57.4% alcohol, juicy, oaky, and vanilla profile.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
It's gonna be great.
This is my favourite smelling whiskey so far.
I mean, what do you say? You're a tart for a sherried whiskey.
I'm a tart, certainly.
You've proved that tonight.
This is, French virgin oak, we have had before.
It's not got a particularly romantic name, that's Bob. Splinter versus Shredder.
Okay.
It's not the most sensual title.
And this one says, a clout of oak meets the dazzle of fruity distillate, fills and spills of a delicious battle ensue.
So this one is what, Highland single malt.
This one is from the Loch Lomond distillery.
Okay.
So 112 is one of the various distillates produced from Loch
They've
Lomond.
got about 25 different
Correct.
types.
This one is from the island, is named after the island from Inchmurrin, which sits on the loch. So we've had Inchmurrin before, and their standard one is in Madeira.
Okay.
But French Virgin Oak I really like.
Tastes like a sherried single malt. I think if I gave you that blind, would you guess it?
It tastes really rich. I think the Virgin Oak is really, really good, especially, and that makes sense. Younger whiskey and Virgin Oak tastes older.
Yeah.
Again, whiskey and Virgin Oak tastes more indulgent. All right, let's dig in.
I mean,
It's just very romantic.
don't put it behind you. You're embarrassing yourself for us.
Just think it's been a fantastic evening. I just want to let you know.
Good.
I really appreciate you.
You look
And,
like some. Looks like a terrible dream.
And
Like a hippie from hell.
I do appreciate you giving whiskey and food pairings a go tonight.
I'd say of the 3 courses, this is the one to be honest, I already knew this was going to work.
This was going to work. Yeah.
I say whiskey and chocolate works. This is this is a lot of chocolate, and it's a suitably decadent dram to pair it with.
Now, it is a Loch Lomond.
Doesn't excite me, Loch Lomond.
I agree.
I don't know whether it's because they've got 25 different distillate styles and I don't understand it, that it gets my back up.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm ever drawn towards, but this is a
This
solid
this
dram.
light blue category with Malt Whisky Society, Juicy Oak and Vanilla, that Francesco introduced, is my favourite.
Okay.
And so when I see the light blue, I normally know I'm going to enjoy it. Normally it's because there's a lot of bourbon influence.
So what's the blue category?
Juicy Oak and Vanilla, that's what it's called.
Okay.
And the Virgin Oak adds that vanilla.
It's a nice system, isn't it? I suppose everybody's always going to have opinions on, oh, you need a category for this, or that's too many categories. But I feel like they've done as good a job as they can do.
But you're right, like on a menu, would we pick out a Loch Lomond
No.
for our flavour profile? We would honestly probably not. But this is a perfect whiskey for this dish. What a good way to round it out.
I think I'm going to do that thing where I wash it all down together. Have you done that before?
I'll follow your lead.
Dignified. Or it tastes amazing. That's bloody amazing.
You are sold over. You're bowled over.
I think definitely sold on desserts. Not just in general, but with whiskey. I think, yeah, with the mains, it was nice. It was a nice added.
Flavour profile led whiskey can work really well with food.
I think it does need a big whiskey
Yeah.
for something as flavourful as this.
Good company, good whiskey, great food.
And a great venue as well.
What a
I say I was
fantastic
kind of confused when you invited me here. So I was like, are we just going to drink cask strength whiskies all day? But the food has been very, very impressive. Not the best Valentine's Day I've had, but it's been
It's not over yet.
to an adequate evening. Cheers.
To after this.
Behave. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want us to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.